Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back into another edition. But this is not just any edition of Keytime Sports. This is the Final Four edition of Keytime Sports, where we have Illinois, UConn, Michigan, and Arizona fighting it out for a chance to claim the trophy Monday night in the national championship game in basketball. I am not here to waste anybody's time, so it is time for me to give you all of the championship tips that you need for tomorrow's games and for Monday night's games. So let's get into it. The first team that I am going to cover is the Illinois Fighting Illini. When it comes to the entirety of their team, here is their roster, who is all on their roster. And their head coach is Brad Underwood. So here's everybody who is on the Illinois Fighting Illini list of on their roster. Here is the statistics for every player for the Fighting Illini. I'm going to start off with per game statistics. Give everybody 10 seconds to look at the per game statistics. Here are the season totals for the Illini players. And let's shift on over to the UConn Huskies. Now, I've always said throughout the years that you can always pencil UConn being in the thick of things. So here is UConn's roster. Yeah, here is UConn's roster. And their head coach is led by Mr. Dan Hurley. Now everybody know who Dan Hurley is, and y'all pretty much saw how he was looking the last game because they got, I'm gonna say that they got a little lucky, but what he did after the player made that 3-point shot, I'm like, that's just downright, excitement. It sends thrills, and the way he was looking, big dog in the ref. I'm happy that the ref ain't throw no tech at him for that, because it's all in fun and entertainment. So here's the UConn Huskies roster. Head coach is Dan Hurley. Here is the Huskies statistics when it comes to per game statistics. I'm going to give everybody 10 seconds to look at everybody who is on the Huskies list, their roster. Here is the season totals for the UConn Huskies. Okay, 10 seconds are up. Let's get to the previews, because I'm going to save everything that I got and all my energy, and when it comes to hypotheticals, I want to save it for right now. UConn and Illinois meet in the Final Four. Illinois fighting Illini 28-8. UConn Huskies 33-5. Indianapolis, Saturday night, 6:09 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. For the people that's in the Pacific, 3:09 Pacific Time. For the people that are in Central Standard Time, it will be 5:09 p.m. for you. And the people who are in the mountain time, where you are living in Wyoming, Denver, Colorado, you will be able to see it at 4:09 p.m. So I got all of the time zones covered. And the bottom line, number 7, UConn, and number 13, Illinois, play in the NCAA Tournament Final Four. The Huskies' record in the Big East play is 19-4, and their record is 14-1 in non-conference games. UConn scores 77.1 points and has outscored opponents by 11.9 points per game. The Fighting Illini are 16-6 in Big Ten play. Illinois is 0-5 in games decided by 3 points or fewer. I'm going to say that again. Illinois is 0-5 in games decided by 3 points or fewer. That means if the game is close in the last 35 seconds, Illinois is going to lose this game. Now, the favorite in this game is already the UConn Huskies. And I do believe that in the final, well, when we get to the national championship game on Monday, it will be UConn and Arizona. That's who I think it'll be. But before I get into all of that and these hypotheticals and stuff, I want to complete this preview of this particular matchup. UConn average of 8.2 made three-pointers per game this season is only 0.2 fewer shots made on average than the 8.4 per game Illinois allows. Illinois averages 10.7 made three-pointers per game this season, 4.8 made shots on average than the 5.9 per game UConn allows. The teams meet for a second time this season. UConn won 74-61 in the last matchup on November 28th. Solomon Ball led UConn with 15 points, and Colin Boswell led Illinois with 25 points. Top performers: Taris Reed Johnson is averaging 14.7 points per game, 8.8 rebounds, 2.1 blocks for the Huskies. Alex Karaban is averaging 2.4 made three-pointers over the last 10 games. Keaton Wagler is averaging 17.9 points and 4.3 assists for the Fighting Illini. David Mirokovich is averaging 14.8 points per game, 14.8 points over the last 10 games. The last 10 games, the Huskies are 8-2, averaging 71.2 points, 32.7 rebounds, 17.7 assists, 6.8 steals, and 4.7 blocks per game while shooting 45.4% from the floor. Their opponents have averaged 62.9 points per game. Fighting Illini, 7-3, averaging 82.8 points per game, 36 rebounds, 14.3 assists, 4.1 steals, and 3.9 blocks per game while shooting 46% from the floor. Their opponents have averaged 70 points per game. Now let's get to who will be the favorite in this game. And Illinois is the favorite in the game. But I don't care about that. I'm about to go against the grain because what does Vegas know? Now, I do understand that the house always wins. But in my heart of hearts, I believe that UConn is going to find a way to win this game. And the Fighting Illini will be heading back home. So, everybody who will be looking at this and everybody who is, place your bets accordingly in this game. But UConn will win this game because Illinois is a slight favorite, but after what I just read, they have lost 5 games by 3 points or less. And I'm taking that into fruition, and I am not going to put my faith in a favorite that doesn't know how to close. UConn, they know how to close. And we saw it just the last game. They were down by 19 points in the second half, clawed their way back, and won it on a last-second 3. So UConn, I got UConn winning this game. The next game that I'm going to cover and the final game before the national championship on Monday night is the Michigan Wolverines and the Arizona Wildcats. Now, the Michigan Wolverines, their roster, I'm going to show you all their roster. Here is the Michigan Wolverines roster. Their head coach is Dusty May. Here is the Michigan Wolverines statistics with their players, per game statistics right here I'm going to give everybody a good 10 seconds to look and see who has all played throughout the entirety of this season. Here are the season totals for the Michigan Wolverines. As you all can see, let's move on over to Arizona. Now, there is somebody that has been playing for the Arizona Wildcats. He has been flying under the radar, well, somewhat under the radar, but he was built for moments like this. And I'm going to go down this roster. Dwayne Airstow, Addison Arnold, Toby Awaka, Jaden Bradley, Braden Burries, Jason Cook, Anthony Del Orsorso or Rosso, Sev DeJomo, Jackson Francis, Sadiq Y, Bryce James, Evan Chachomo Cove, Motijas Karivas, Muwat, Evan Nelson, and Koa Pete. Now, we already know that Bryce James, he garners the most attention on Arizona. And one thing that I can say when it comes to these statistics of Arizona, even though that Bryce James, he has the type of name, he is on this list as far as per game statistics. He is pretty much a player that comes off the bench. But if there was ever a game where Bryce James is a X factor, it would be this game, because as we all can see, these are the leading scorers for Arizona. But Bryce James is that one diamond in the rough where you have to give him some playing time in this game. If one of your guys, God forbid, if one of your guys go through a shooting slump in this game, Bryce James, put him in there for about 5 minutes and let's see what he can do. So I'm going to go to the previews of this game. I'm going to go to the preview. Arizona and Michigan square off in the Final Four. Michigan 35-3, Arizona Wildcats 36-2. Indianapolis, Saturday, 8:49 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. For people that are in the Pacific, on the west coast of the country, 5:49 Pacific for you. For the Mountain Time, it will be 6:49 Pacific for people that live in the Mountain Time Zone, Wyoming, Denver, Colorado, and cities and states like that. It will be 6:49 for you. And on top of the Central Standard Time, it will be 7:49 for you. People that live in Houston, Oklahoma, they will see it at 7:49 p.m. and that will be for the Central Time Zone for viewers. So now, bottom line, Arizona number 2 and Michigan number 3 meet in the NCAA Tournament Final Four. The Wildcats record in Big 12 play is 19-2, and their record is 17-0 against non-conference opponents. Arizona leads the Big 12 in rebounding, averaging 39.8 boards. Toby Awaka leads the Wildcats with 9 rebounds. The Wolverines are 21-2 against Big 10 opponents. Michigan is second in the Big 10 with 18.8 assists per game, led by Elliot Kadu, averaging 5.8. Arizona makes 50.3% of its shots from the floor this season, which is 11.9% points higher than Michigan has allowed to its opponents, 38 58.4%. Michigan has shot at a 51.1% clip from the field this season, 11.9 percentage points higher than the 39.2 percentage shooting opponents of Arizona have averaged. Top performers, Braden Burris is shooting 50% and averaging 16.1 points for the Wildcats. Anthony Del Orso is averaging 1.4 made three-pointers over the last 10 games. Yaxel Linderborg is scoring 15.2 points per game, averaging 7 rebounds for the Wolves. Trey McKinney is averaging 1.6 made three-pointers over the last 10 games. The last 10 games for the Wildcats, 10-0, averaging 84.6 points per game, 38.7 rebounds, 14.7 assists, 5 steals, and 4.4 blocks per game, while shooting 50.2 points per game from the floor. Their opponents have averaged 68.6 points per game. Wolverines 9-1, averaging 83.7 points per game, 34.6 rebounds, 17.4 assists, 4.3 steals, and 6.6 blocks per game, while shooting 51.4% from the floor. Their opponents have averaged 72.1 points per game. Now, the point spread for this game, everybody, is Michigan at 1.5. Now, one thing that I can say, this is pretty much close to a pick 'em, but I'm going to go with Arizona. So I got Arizona and UConn in the final two that are standing for the national championship on Monday. So book it. Arizona is going to win this game, and book the UConn Huskies to win over the Fighting Illini. And please like, comment, share, subscribe to Keytime Sports right here on YouTube, Key City Sports on Instagram, and The Key on millions.co. Here is my media feed. Here is my merchandise. We just rolled out new merchandise, so you can go and get you some new merchant. You can go and get you some merchandise from Key City Sports and Keytime Sports and all of my platforms right here on this platform. And we also have a new logo. So for everybody that didn't see it earlier, here is the new logo, part of our rebrand. And remember, here is my profile so that you will know that it is me. And remember, everybody, one last thing, the key is always on time.